Hey everybody, it's your pal Mike Shea from slyflourish.com and twitter.com/slyflourish, here with another episode of Sly Flourish's Lazy DM Prep. This is a weekly show shot live on 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time on Sundays, in which I go through steps from Return of the Lazy Dungeon Master while preparing for my Sunday D&D game. In this case, don't mind the echo. In this case, I'm going to be running a homebrew Eberron campaign known as the Second Mourning. Everybody wanted it to be called the Morning After, but now I've already made everything for it, so we're calling it the Second Mourning. This show is brought to you by the fine backers of Sly Flourish on Patreon. If you go to patreon.com/slyflourish, you too can help back shows like this and help support the website and help cover all of the costs that it takes to keep the Sly Flourish empire alive. If you are a Patreon backer, thank you very much for your support. And if you are not, you can take a look at it. And otherwise, you can enjoy all of the things that we produce here at Sly Flourish. When I say we, I mean me. So last game, first of all, I hope everybody's having an okay week given everything that's been going on. And things have been going okay here, if anybody cares. And things have been fine. I've been home. And really, I've been spending a lot of time thinking about how we run games online. This is obviously a time. My hope is that everybody who had a home game is figuring out how to get their game to run remotely. So I am hoping that everybody takes the opportunity, takes the time to figure out how to play online. And one of the things I want to do on the Sly Flourish website and here and elsewhere is help people make the transition from home games or in-store or live and in-person games to online games while we are unable to meet in person. Obviously, meeting in person for me anyway, I think is ideal. But there are some advantages to running online as well. And we're going to talk about some of those over the days and weeks to come. So let's see, what else? What other news? Yes, so last week was my session 0 of my Eberron campaign, the Second Mourning. So it was the first time that my normally in-store group met online, and we used Discord for our game, and it worked well. It worked very well. In fact, I think of all of the different ways that I've tried playing D&D online, and I've tried a whole bunch, I think that my current favored solution is running on Discord, period. And there are a couple of tricks that for running on Discord that I think can work well. And so there's a bunch of different options. Then the obvious question is, well, why not Roll20? Roll20 is very popular. Lots of people use Roll20. I have used Roll20 in the past. And I find that it's hard to use. And there's a lot of settings and there's a lot of weird bits. But another big reason why I don't use Roll20 is that some of my players are totally not used to playing online at all. They don't even have computers at home that they can really use to do it. So they're playing off their phone. The nice thing about Discord is you can load it on your phone and you can run it on your phone. And you just set your phone on the table next to you and you have your dice and you have your player's handbook and you have everything else you need in front of you like you would be at an in-store game, only you've got a phone sitting there and you're talking through your phone. So so that is certainly, it's easier, frankly, to just get people to connect an audio over Discord and run that way. There are some other tricks, though, for sharing like images and sharing maps and sharing some other things. Some of the things that you might do in Roll20, handouts and the like, that you can still do over Discord by dropping it into the text channel, which is what I plan to do today. And then there's another trick, and I'm going to try it, and I'm going to, I experimented a little bit with it on Wednesday with my Wednesday group. And that is using the broadcast feature of Discord to broadcast a local screen that the DM is using to show a map and to manipulate tokens. And I've had other friends and I've talked to other people who actually will bring up a layered image editor, something like Photoshop or GIMP or I'm using a program called Pixelmator on my Mac. And you can set up layers. So you can put a map down on there, either a full-size map or like an encounter map. You can put a black layer over the top of it, and then you can start to delete the black layer that treats like a fog of war. And then you can drop a token, one layer per token, one token per layer. And you can drop all the character tokens and all of the monster tokens. And you can use a bunch of generic monster tokens. I set up about 40 different generic monster tokens that I just have off to the side. And then as the DM, I can move those all into position. I can show where everybody's at. And then I can use the broadcast feature of Discord to show that to everybody else, whether they're on a phone or a tablet or a PC, they can see what's going on. The trick there is that they can't move their own tokens. They have to describe it. But with numbered generic monster tokens, they can usually say, like, I want to be 1 square east of of cultist number 2. And then you can kind of move things around. So if you really need to get tactical, you can do that. I'm probably going to keep that tactical side down and instead try to focus on theater of the mind as much as possible, but using screenshots of maps to show people like this is what the junction looks like. You're in a hallway that's traveling south, and you see that there are 2 hallways leading off to the north and south, and there's a set of double doors to the directly to the south. I can grab a screenshot of that, paste it in the Discord chat, and show what it looks like. So that's how I'm going to try it today, and that way my players. Sorry, my mic is about to fall off its stand. My players don't need any other client software, and they don't need to learn anything other than Discord, which I think is a advantage for my players who are not used to playing over. They're not used to playing online, and they're not necessarily all computer savvy either. I've had players in my other game where computer basics are a challenge. So, and that's not an insult to them. Just not everybody spends all their time messing around with computers. And just to get them onto Discord and get the audio working was enough of a challenge. And the last thing we want to do is try to explain how to set up a character in Roll20 and everything like that. That said, a lot of people really like Roll20, and if you and your group are into it, then go with the gods. I will recommend another little tool that I tried out yesterday called Beyond 20, which is a Chrome extension that you can use to essentially put a Roll20 button next to all of the attacks or spells or whatever in your D&D Beyond character sheet. And when you click them, it goes straight into the Roll20 text interface. So that way you can have Roll20 and D&D Beyond up, and you don't have to load your character into Roll20. You can use your D&D Beyond stuff, and it works very well. So that I tried that yesterday for a little bit, and while I still struggle with Roll20, it works for Chrome and Firefox. Okay, I only knew about the Chrome extension. And it's a Chrome extension. It's called Beyond 20, if you want to try that out. So if you are into Roll20, but your players are into D&D Beyond, that is a good way to capitalize off of the fact that you have books and characters and everything in D&D Beyond, but still use Roll20 as your tactical battle map interface. So anyway, I spent a lot of time last week researching, talking to people, listening to videos, watching stuff to try to get a better understanding of how online play is used, what the most common tools are. I have an article that's going to come out Monday. I've thrown the article around to lots of people to take a look at. Hey, my mom is here. Hello, Mom. And I had a lot of people take a look at it to try to see, like, am I covering most of the big bases? There's really so many different ways to play D&D online. I didn't cover them all, but I tried to cover like a lot of the big ones. So it's like, what are the most common chat tools that people use? I think all of them were free except one. I think Zoom is the only one that isn't free, but Zoom is a really powerful one. So Zoom is included there as well. And then like, what are other tools that people use to do visuals? And it's like, Roll20 and Fantasy Grounds, and I don't think I have Map Tools on there, but Map Tools is another one that's pretty popular. And then there's a whole list of other ones, and then I link to other sites where they have whole lists of other tools, so there's lots of different things to try, and it's probably worth trying out. But it's also important to just try to keep the barrier to entry very easy, particularly for players who are not used to playing online. And since we are kind of forced into it, it's a lot of us these days, it's either we play online or we don't play. And that sucks, but here we are. So how do we get people in as easily as possible? And I've seen a lot of people on Twitter who said like, well, I'm just not into online play, so our game is on hiatus. And I saw a poll, I think it was Empty Black that ran a poll recently, and it showed that basically 20% of the people who responded to his poll said that their game is on hiatus because of the coronavirus situation. And that just makes me very sad, because social interaction is so desperately important to our health. It's so important. And I always feel like D&D is a huge way for us to keep our social connections, and it gives us a really great excuse to just get together with our friends and relax. And if people are losing that now, I think it's doubly exasperated. Like, we're already socially cut off because of the whole coronavirus situation. And then we're cutting ourselves off again by putting our game on hold, which is why I think it's really, really important to try to figure out how to play online, even though many of us may not want to. We're here, and I think I think as a DM, if you guys are DMs out there, normally I am not dictatorial about you should do whatever, because we all have different lives and different experiences, and I'm sure there's reasons why you can't. But if you have the opportunity, push yourself to try to set up your games online, because it's important to you, it's important to your players, it's important to all of us to try to maintain the games, even though we have this crazy situation that we're in. So expect me to talk more about running online play. Expect a lot of stuff out of the Sly Flourish side of things. I'll probably put videos and articles. I know I have at least 2 articles in the queue to talk about how best to play online and some of the easier tools to play online. And it's how we're playing today. So yeah, so let's talk about my Eberron game. So last week, we had our session 0, and probably most important, and I should put in here, is that they selected their group patron, which is the Explorers Guild. What are they called? You know, you'd think I'd have written it down, and I did write. I know who I'm talking about. I just don't remember the exact name. So let's go to. I got my book right here. Sometimes it's just easier to go through the book. They are the Finders Guild. Page 85 of the book is about the Finders Guild. Across Corvair, the Inquisitives of House Thrakish. So House Thrakish is sort of the owners of the Finders Guild. But really the Finders Guild is not just people on House Thrakish. So Finders Guild and House, and I think it's Thrakish. I'm going to Thrashk. It's a hell of a name. Tharashk. Tharashk. So that is their group. That is their group patron, and this helped solidify stuff a lot. This helps me kind of wrap my head around it. It means that I can immediately create a fun NPC. I think, an NPC we had talked about last time. I'm zipping down, but just because it's in mind. So I think we're going to have a new NPC, and I think it's going to be a half-orc. We're going to switch genders because I always like switching genders. So we have female half-orc who's based on Sala from Raiders of the Lost Ark. And her name is going to be what? Let's drop in here and go to names. Bink names. Where is my names? There we go. Dorcas. Doris, Doras will be a fun one. Doris Glory Seeker. Doris the Seeker. I think that's a good name, right? Do we like that name, people in chat? So she is probably in her 50s, related. I don't know. I think half-orcs have about the same life expectancy of, they have about the same life expectancy as a human does. So she's probably in her 50s. She's been an explorer. She's an actual member of House Thrashk. She's probably a dragon mark. Do we think she's a dragon mark? So her Doris, and then we do the Doris Thrashk, the Seeker, a female half-orc, Sala from Raiders 50s, retired from her own explorations, right? And one of the things I kind of dig is the idea that she always dresses up as though she's ready to, and for her it's marketing. She's always dressed as though she's ready to explore, but for her it's marketing, right? It's what people expect. From the Finders Guild. So, and she's head of the Sharn. Is she head of the Sharn Finders Guild, or she's like a junior partner of the Finders Guild? but she's dragon marked. So I think we'll make her somewhat important. Head of the Finders Guild in Sharn. So I think that'll be a fun NPC to build. Like I didn't, it's nice to take a little bit of time and build an NPC once you know that it's somebody that's actually going to come and play. One thing I'm going to try to do is have fewer NPCs than I had in Saltmarsh. I think it's fine to have, I'm distracted by my window. I think it is fine to have a fair number of NPCs for people to chew on, but like 3 to 5 is good at a time. And when they switch locations, that's when 3 to 5 probably change things up. She has 27 go bags scattered around. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. She kind of wants to get out there. She probably has like, a wound or something, right? There's some reason that she, or she just, I don't know, maybe she's just bitter about, she doesn't go out and explore herself. And, yeah, so somebody says, what is she seeking? That's a very good question. What is her drive and motivation? Her drive and motivation is keep the Finders Guild up and running. But, I think, skating where the puck is going to be is like a big thing. Where go where others will be tomorrow. So she wants to get there. She wants to find out about what people are doing now so that you can get ahead of it, because she thinks that there's value in this. And we'll see. So right now the whole, I don't know that she knows yet that a bunch of different groups inside Sharn, a bunch of different houses and everything are trying to find out what occurred for the last war and trying to get it. But for her, it's like, our goal isn't necessarily to get a hold of this thing, but it's to make sure that no one else does. So we don't want the weapon, but we want to make sure no one else has it either. I think that's a good motivation. That's a strong one. Okay, so let's talk about our characters. So we had a very good session where people talked about their characters. There was some shifting around. So we have Z, a scribing gnome artificer. Father was a famous hero. Has a dodecahedron that she got from her father that says when you're smart enough to open it, you will. And she is a latent dragon mark from House Civis. She was, I think, I'm trying to remember exactly how that happened, but she has like a connection to House Civis that's a few generations back, but the dragon mark manifested. We have Juliet, who is playing Shift. Z is being played by Jerry. Juliet is playing Shift, who is a Warforged Warlock, Pact of the Undying. So she's actually a early prototype Warforged, probably illegally made back during the war, in which they actually took humans and experimented with life extension and expansion, and changed and modified her body significantly. So think very sort of Eberron cyberpunky. Internal organs were replaced. Other parts of her body were shifted. And her goal is to try to reconnect with her lost humanity during this. And an agent from House Kenneth created her, but doesn't know why she lives. That there's some reason why she's still alive, and she doesn't know why. And that the thing that drives her to still live is this pact that she has with the Undying. And I know the secret about who her patron really is, but I think I'm going to hang on to it. I don't even want to say. But you might be able to guess. So, so her pact of the Undying, and like she's driven by this. And one of the things that I think is important with warlocks, and I've run this I had a bunch of warlocks in my Saltmarsh campaign. I am not. Yes, Snark Knight says I am not volunteering that information right now. Not volunteering it at all. I refuse to volunteer it. So the trick about warlocks is that they don't have to agree with their patrons, right? The concept that you have a patron, if your patron is the Archfey, you don't have to like the Archfey, or if it's the Fiend, right? You don't have to like the Fiend. They drive your power, but you can still actually go directly against them. So so that's a neat sort of trick. So more to come on that. But Shift is a good character to kind of tug on the Warforged side with, particularly because she is kind of a Warforged, but kind of not, and the Warforged don't really know what to make of her, and nor do humans and everything else. We have Saber being played by Brian. We don't really have much of a background on Saber yet, but Saber is a long-tooth shifter monk and bounty hunter. So certainly a good strong connection to the Finders Guild can work there. Finders Guild definitely needs. So then some characters have backstory that goes on for days. Not on for days, but fair bit of backstory. And one of those is Shane. Shane Husk is a hobgoblin wizard, a crime novelist who wrote a best-selling book about the Mournland and wants to see if they can write it again. They served with the heirs of the Deccan as a military strategist and historian. They have a sage background. And the ancestors fought in the Great War. They retired early for a career change to follow the passions of mystery and military history novel writing, like Michael Connelly, Tom Clancy, and whatnot. And their goal is to joined House Tharashka as a consultant and attaché, get some frontline experience, currently looking to find source material for a second book and enjoying. I probably don't, so I could probably just copy. That's fine. Joined House Tharashka and a consultant attaché, currently looking to find source material for a second book and enjoying a lengthy junket, which fans have been eagerly waiting for. Taking a while, fans are getting rather impatient. Instantly recognizable with an ornate staff, weathered fedora, and long trench coat. To this end, I've asked to join the Inquisitors Guild to find source material in the next great novel. So that is Shane Husk, the novelist. We have Banner. Banner is a Warforged paladin of the Becoming God. Oath of Devotion, Vengeance, or Redemption. Yeah, it could easily be one of these. Fought for years in the last war, but grew weary. I don't need that section. I don't care what oath he is. Fought for years in the last war, but grew weary with being used by the fleshies, who ground his kind. I don't know if I like the word fleshies. Who ground his kind into the ground. With war's end, they linked up with the Lord of Blades forces, ministering the Warforged ossuary in the Mournland. They abandoned the Lord of Blades because of his rigid dogma and single-minded cruelty towards the Fleshborn. We'll go with Fleshborn. They can't seem to run out of horrors that help perpetrate slaughter whole villages. So when Banner saw the Lord of Blades murdering non-Warforged, they left. Until they discovered the promise of becoming God and joined the Godforged. Now they search Corvair for the components of the Godhead itself, for their own soul. Certainly could both be found in the Mournland. So they're ex-Lord of Blades and... so that could work well. So those are the characters. So I'm missing one of my players. We were trying to get him connected on Discord, and he couldn't get connected, and he left. And I have not been able to get him since. So I think he might be very busy. A lot of things going on with the whole coronavirus thing. So hopefully I can get back in touch with him. But I have not seen him or heard from him since that game. But hopefully he will be joining back in. So that is where those are the characters. So the session ended last time with them. Let me do a quick summary of the game from last session. So they started on the lightning rail and they were roaring across, and three Warforged, sinister looking Warforged. They were there to meet Murdo Gemsoother, an agent of the king who knows that various factions have gotten stirred up and that there's a lot of, people are seeking a lot of things. I thought she's been on the payroll of the Finders Guild, and she said, hey, I just want to let you know that there's these different groups that are going out there. They have activated agents of the dark light lanterns, right? Have been activated. That is a secret that we should pass along. Mercenary groups, large mercenary groups are on the move. Scholars of the university have been sequestered. King's Dark Lanterns, is that right? King's. Who else? Obviously the escalation of Lord of Blades. In Breland, and now even in Sharn. Who else? So like, this is one of those things where we set up the pool table and we have our cue ball and there's a bunch of balls and go bang and we watch all the balls go moving. So they're seeing all these balls moving, all these different groups. Who else has gotten stirred up? Many jobs coming into the Finders Guild from, and who is the, damn it. It's in my villains list. Where are my villains? I know I wrote villains down here. The Aurum. And I think that's probably the hook I'm gonna grab onto the most. So the Aurum, and let's where do we find the Aurum? Are they in the? I can't remember if they're. Let's searching in a big paper book is hard, but let's go over to here and go to our D&D Beyond and pop up in a search. Aurum missions. Hey, look at this. So that's Rising from the Last War. That's the right book, right? Yeah. Now that there's two Eberron books, I get confused. So the Aurum. Oh, look, there's Aurum NPCs. An Aurum Concordian is renowned for having the finest arcane library in Corvair. Adventurers might help them collect more tome. I like this one. We're going to grab this one. So we need an Aurum, a new NPC. And let's do like a fun... Let's look at NPC generator. Let's go to... I always like Donjon for my... When I need a random thing that I don't happen to have a tool for, I go to Donjon. Let's see. Do they have an NPC generator? They have like a random generator. Where's the random generator? This is like everything. NPCs. Perfect. See, it starts with NPCs. Whoops. I totally screwed up the window. Female elf wizard, neutral. Yeah, I like this one, so we're gonna go with her. Lyra is her name. Bang. Oops. Female elf wizard. I don't even know what Concordian means. What the hell are sturdy clothes? Plain but quality clothes. And she, ancient lore. And ancient tomes, right? So I need a last name for Lyra here. In this case, we'll go to my random name generator. Willow Sorcerer. I like Willow. Willow's pretty good. Willow Song. Lyra Willow Song. That's nice. And she... I triggered Siri. Sorry. Lyra. I don't know how I did that. So, female elf wizard, Aurum Concordian, neutral. She... and has the Finders Guild on retainer. That's a good NPC. Yeah, sorry. So I skipped. I started getting into stuff again. So they were on the lightning rail. 3 Warforged tried to blow up the lightning rail with a big fireball bomb. The characters threw, I think they threw the guy out of the side, and he blew up and died. And but they could tell that like something, they something wasn't right about them. So they were all shouting about the Lord of Blades before they were blowing up the car. And then the characters got out there and they met with their the contact, Murdo Gemsoother, and Murdo said, we need to go meet on a platform and talk. And she kind of told them a little bit about, hey, a lot of crazy things are going on. But we only did it, so we were only there for about an hour of the adventure. So we're kind of starting there. So I have room for my strong start. And so I think that there is a list of sort of random occurrences in Sharn, like things that can happen when you wander around Sharn. If anybody knows, there's a whole section on falling, a whole random sort of falling thing. I wonder, is there a Sharn version? You know what they need? One of those Guild Adepts ought to get on this, and maybe they already have, is a Encounters in Sharn book that is similar to the Waterdeep. And if I don't find one, Wayfinder's Guide. What is the Wayfinder's Guide? I don't know about that. There is a lot of interesting things, but I need like random occurrences in Sharn, weird things that happen. Oh, let's take a look at this. He's Not Your Problem has a thing. Encounters in Sharn. Hey, look at that. Yeah, and it looks like it was done by the Adepts. And hell, I probably already own this. Let's take a look. Well, let me log in here. You know what? We're going to drag, just in case. I don't think my password gets exposed, but I don't want to expose my password live on Twitch. So we're going to just do this in a different window. You guys can't see. I must have this. If I don't have this, yeah, I have purchased this product. This looks like a good. Let's stick this in the notes. I presume this was done a while ago. Oh yes, I remember why this didn't grab me. And it didn't grab me because it's about encounters. I mean, it's like tiny adventures. Sorry, I don't think I'm showing this. Let's bring it over here. So they're all a bunch of specific encounters, right? Like kind of bigger things. And I don't need a specific encounter. I need like small seeds, right? Like these are sort of full adventures that you can, which is fine. And it's a different style. I guess they're like 1 page each. They're not bad. But they're bigger than I need, right? What I was looking for is something on the order of just like a weird thing that occurs. I'm not going to keep that up just so I want people to copy it or whatever. Wayfinder's Guide, page 158, has 120 street moments. That sounds good. 158. Thank you. Thank you for looking at that. 158. 78. You sure that's 158? 158? Wayfinder's Guide. Is that not in the... Oh, here we go. So here are... I found it. So page 240 has a bunch of different things. So they're not in the Skyway. So we're going to say an Upper Sharn, an Upper Sharn stuff. And let's pull out the dice. I've got my nice dice set here that I'm going to be using. And let's just see if something comes up. I really love, pardon all the banging around. I really love seeding adventures with some random ideas. 24. 24. A harpy decked out in colorful ribbons flies overhead calling, "Get the best deals on adventuring gear at Old Claggins in Clifftop." That's pretty cool. What if the harpy is also, a trick? So I dig that. Where am I? I'm lost. I have too many windows open. But a harpy might be a fun... oh, let me turn that off. Manage extensions. It's funny that it kept that extension. So you can see this is how you can click a thing and it throws it right in D&D Beyond. But I don't need that right now. A harpy would be a good... I think I like it. I like this strong start. And who does this harpy belong to, and why do they want it? So here's the tricks. Right, wait, am I back on here? So the strong start is harpy shouting, and what would we say? I could probably just steal this straight from the book, so let's make my life a little easier. Oops. There we go. Grab that, stick it right in here. So this the harpy is a secret agent of who, and why are they going after Murdo? So Murdo. So the question is, who would want to go after Murdo? And so Murdo is probably pretty well known. She's a she's an agent of the king. So people who are against the king wouldn't like her. House, could she be a House Tharashk? Or what's the Tarkanon, right? Could she be an agent of House Tarkanon? Is this a time to tug on the villains? Who could the villains be? We could leave it a mystery, but how much of a mystery should it be? So perhaps it was one of the inner circle of the Aurum that sent him. I don't think the Emerald Claw would care that much when we look at our villains. Let's see. I can delete that. I could delete that. Delete that. Delete that. I don't need any of that stuff. It's all old material. Siren agents. Well, who's the bestial? There's a, what do they call this? So one hard part that I have is, like, I'm trying my best, but this is like a 300-page book. There's a lot going on in here, and it's real hard for me to sort of keep everything together. The Derek here. So there's sort of who's the Droam? Who's Droam? I get confused about all the different, sort of groups. So Droam are monsters. Droam is the monster nation. So what's the Droam and Sharn doing? Let's go back here. I thought Droam was Nation of Monsters, daughter of Sora Kal. That's very cool. So, and the Droam in Sharn, right? They have a quarter where Lower Dura. Balance Gate is home to the Goblins of Sharn along with monstrous immigrants from Droam and Dargarun. So Lower Dura, probably... There's a Sharn group for Droam. And you said Dask. What's up with Dask? Is Dask a ward? What is Dask? Oh, they're a criminal group. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay, sorry. I guess we're all figuring this stuff out together. So we have a Harpy, agent of Dask from Droam, was hired by someone to kill Murdo. There's a map for the cogs in the book where the Dask are based. If you happen to find a page number for that, that would be awesome. I don't even know what book I'm in. Am I in the right book? I think I'm in the right book. Yeah, so there are a bunch of maps, and maybe we'll take a quick look at those as I get through the rest of this. So. Yeah, so that's our strong start, right? Is a Harpy decked out, goes after Murdo, and has which is like 3 nail of the Droam, right? Which is 3 nails representing the 3 hags. Page 251. Thank you. He's not your problem. You're awesome. 251. I can't read over my microphone. Oh yeah, so the Dask, yeah, there's a whole Dask villainous thing. So and there's Dask NPCs. Very cool. Goblinoids, human shifters, other humanoids recruited a population of Sharn, Droam soldiers that make up the core of the organization. Changelings, hey, look, Harpies. Yay. So I think in secret, though, she is not a... Hey, look, Dask Harpies raid a Skyway Mansion and tear the place apart looking for Bormer clan members. So I think she was hired, though. She's a secret agent. But this can kind of get us tied into the Dask. So we have... What have we... Some secrets about the Dask, right? So... Is Droam now one of the 5 nations? Sorry, remind me. Here we go. Droam. Once Droam was a wild frontier that marked the edge of civilized Korea. Today is home to one of the strangest nations in the continent. They're building a society. Are they one of the signatories, or are they not a signatory? They were not invited to the treaty. Very good. Thank you. Oh, I'm so glad. I don't know how anybody else preps for a game without having a bunch of people that they can chat with. By the way, so I will give you an idea. If you don't have a Twitch channel that gets 50 people to show up on a Sunday morning to watch you prep, and you're curious like how to do this sort of thing, this sort of collaborative How do we do this? The D&D Beyond Discord channel has a DM section that's pretty active, and you can go there and try ideas. I don't know why I'm pitching that first. But another one is my, so I have a Sly Flourish Discord channel as well. I should put the link in the notes. I don't have it in link in the notes. But there is a Sly Flourish Discord channel, and a bunch of people in there hang out, a bunch of people that are here in the chat hang out there. So if you want to kind of draw ideas about how to run a campaign, that is a fine place to do it. Discord is a great opportunity, great way to get sort of real-time, find big D&D, so that there, what's his name? Matt Colville has one too. I'm sure there's a whole, hell, there's probably an Eberron one, for all I know. And it's a great way to kind of get a bunch of people to sort of clue in on, you know, hey, I'm trying to run an Eberron campaign. I have this idea. What should I do? And a lot of people would be willing to kind of give information. So I'm doing it here on Twitch, and that works great for me. But if you want to do it and not have a Twitch channel, you can do it just by dropping in one of the Discord channels, and I bet you would, I bet you get it. There is an Eberron one, I bet. Yeah. And I wonder, the key is you want to find a channel that's active enough that you can get a fair bit of responses back. So, Harpy decked out in colorful room, flies over calling, get the best deals in the adventuring gear in old Claggins and Clifftop. The Harpy then sees Murdo, drops down, tries to charm her to get her to throw herself off the cliff. Oh, there's the link to Sly's Discord. Thank you. And tries to kill Murto. And then the secret includes Droam is an empire of monsters that was not invited to the treaty. It is ruled by 3 hags. The Dask, criminal group with monstrous members that operates out of where do they, let's see. Dask, from monstrous immigrants from Droam, Dask has been building its power in Kyber's Gate and Melon's Gate districts of Sharn. Kyber's Gate. For the last 10 years. Thank you. Shalrath42 is posting links in Twitch to the Sly Flourish Discord channel and the D&D Beyond Discord channel. Thank you for that. Monstrous members from the, what did I say? Immigrants from Droam. So that talks about what Dask is, and we have a couple of Droam stuff. But the secret is, so what's the Harpy's name? Clash? Crash? Let's find a monster name generator. Fantasy name generators, monster names. Why does this not work? I'm sure. There we go. Gloom. These are terrible names. This is not what I was looking for. Let's go. What is that? Oh, that's me. Let's go to names. Let's see if Juniper. I'll go with Juniper. And the secret is that Juniper, the Harpy, was hired by someone and did not act on behalf of Dask. Hired by an agent, by a human with a, what did the Emerald Claw, yeah, with an old, of a burning green hand. The Emerald Claw. So I'm driving heavy into secrets, and this is my 11th secret, so we're going to stop after this. The Emerald Claw has long since been disbanded. Its members are often mercenaries, cutthroats, or seedy bodyguards. Cool. So those are my secrets. So I've got a good, strong start. Scenes. So what scenes could occur? I want to kind of give some options. So they can still go to Nevermind, the bar. They can go there and ask about the Beast. The Beast was the name of one of the... thank you for subscribing, by the way. For those of you with Twitch Prime, thank you for subscribing to the channel. I appreciate it. Jarvis18 just subscribed. So, yeah. So they recognized one of the... They recognized one of the Warforged as a big, powerful Warforged named Beast, who was part of the Lord of Blades, but a long time ago. The secret is that he didn't have anything to do with it. So they could go to the Nevermind and investigate the fallen Warforged beasts. They could go to Kyber's Gate to investigate Juniper. They could take the job from Doris to go to the ruins of gods. Oh, let me look it up in here. I never know whether it's faster to look stuff up in the book or to look it up online, but we're going to go online. Oops, sources, source books. There's just a lot to absorb here. So, where are the gods? Distant lands. There we go, sovereign host. So there is a Auron, right? Law and lore to the ruins. And Fallen, right? Fallen is the name of the place. If I recall, Rising from the Last War, Fallen District in Lower Dura, once known as God's Gate, but one of the towers collapsed on it. Shrines and statues. And there is a ruin to an old temple, and there is a book. One of the tomes of making, which is a book that is one of the founding books of House Kenneth, but is long lost. So that can work. All right, we're gonna put that on Do Not Disturb. And what else? So that is, I think those are three good areas. What could they, so they you know, I need sort of a lair for, so I think does Dask, oh, so Dask has this huge dungeon, right? The hub. Most popular gathering location is, yeah, the hub. This could be a neat place for them to kind of explore. That's the map on page 251. So we go to our locations. I've got secrets. So let's look at how we're doing on the with 5 minutes to go. how we're doing on the Lazy DM list. So we got the characters, talked about that. We've got a strong start. We've got scenes. We've got secrets and clues. So fantastic locations. We're going to go with the hub. We have Nevermind, Illusion, Warforged, Bar. It has a small fighting arena and a well. And a well going down the cogs. The hub. Oh, there's all kinds of stuff in here. Burning heat. Roaring furnaces. Monstrous totems. So we've got the hub, we've got Nevermind, and then the final location that we're going to do today. There's actually lots of like sub locations in these groups, and that's the Ruin Temple of Aurum. I'm probably not spelling that right. Auron, A-U-R-E-O-N. And what does this have? Large shattered statues. Faulty arcane lighting. And one other cool feature of this place. Well, it definitely has living spells. I guess that's fine. I'm cheating a little bit. So those are 3 locations. And then the map that I want to use. So I have the cogs. Isn't there a... How do I look at this? So cog hub. Let's look at cog hub. There we go. So we're going to open that up. Grab that. And stick that in my, so I got that handy. And then, oh, this is my first. So we have the first fantastic location is, this place, which is one of the, what do they call them? We'll call it the Overlook. And it's got beautiful plants, low railings, and an incredible view. So I got that, and then the hub, I've got a map for that, and then Nevermind, I don't really need a map of, and then the Temple of Auron. So this is one where I really liked a map Dyson had done. You know, I can never like grab go to Dyson's page and not find a map that I love. And was this one? This is it. I love this map. I've been toying with this map all. So that's a real good one. So we're going to grab that one. And that's the Ruined Temple of Auron. So we're good there. Monsters. I need some monsters. So we have the Harpy. Living spell. So we have Burning Hands, Living Magic Missiles. We're going to have Gray Oozes. We're going to have Bandits, Thugs, an Acolyte. These are like probably Emerald Claw or House Tharask. These are sort of the monsters. So these are monsters that are in I'm never going to get that right. Hey, I got it right. That's amazing. So then in the Nevermind, it's going to be Warforged, Thugs, Bandits. Don't really need much of anything there. And then in the, what's it called? The Cogs, We have, somebody said ogres. So I have ogre, hobgoblins, goblins, and what are there? Nice bestial monsters, that kind of semi-intelligent bestial monsters. That might be fun. I don't know, Displacer Beasts, these guys are level 1. I'll probably get to level 2 today. But they're like level 1, so I don't think we want to have very much. Even an ogre. Bugbears. That's pretty good. Yeah, I think we're good. We're good there. And there'll be like an ogre who's kind of in charge and has like a... hobgoblins have a nation unifying them, so yeah, hobgoblins probably not. You're right, that doesn't work. Bugbears are a little bit better. Yeah, the ogre. I think so. Yeah, I'm not determining combat for any of these things. So we have a artifact, a relic that casts shield once a day. That's carried by the people who are invading the Temple of Auron because they had to get past the magic missile, the living magic missile spells. What would be a cool relic? Let's go and look at relics. It is a chilling gnomish string of beads. Oh, that one, not so bad. What if it was limited, right? So it's sort of a... it has 5 charges of shield on it. That's pretty good. I like that. So I got my treasure. So it is 11:02. I've got my monsters. I've got my treasure. I've got NPCs. I've got locations. I've got secrets and clues. I've got scenes. I've got a strong start. And I've got characters. So I think we're pretty good. I tell you, a strong start goes a long way. Yeah, the low CR ooze is a gray ooze. And I'm going to have that in that big, yeah. I like gray oozes a lot. They're way better than ochre jellies. Gray oozes can still eat your weapons, but they are relatively low CR. I think they're CR 1/2 or something like that. Let me take a look. I should have just written gray ooze. They are CR 1/2. Yes, 22 hit points, AC 8, but they don't have any of the immunities. They don't split. They're nice. They're good monsters. I like the gray ooze. Yeah, so just curious, for those of you in chat today, seeing the notes that I've got, would you feel like you could run with this? Do you feel like we have enough going on here that you as a DM could grab these notes and run a game? How do you guys feel about it? I'm curious. I'm always curious to know, like, lots of people come and say that they use the steps and that the steps work and they're happy and they run their games. But in this case, I'm curious. I always talk about how I feel, and I feel like, yeah, it's good enough. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to go. I'll do a little bit of work. I'm a little nervous because I'm running online, right? And that's different for me. He's not your problem. Says I probably have a couple of names on hand for folks at the Warforged bar. Yeah, I'll probably steal them from. I think my name generator could work. Yeah, Colomon72 says, I could run it with it, but I've been uncomfortable without upping my Eberron knowledge. Yeah, me too, right? So, like, I'm reading the book, and I just dug through Sharn, and my retention isn't great, but, like, I kind of know where there is stuff now. So if people are going to various districts, I know where the book is. I think understanding the organization of the book can help, because it's okay to grab the book and start reading from it at the table. Like, you don't have to know everything all the time. It's more like, do you know where things are? And you know that you can look them up. So that whole, like, doing a quick search on, doing a quick search for stuff, I think can work. Like, we're not running a perfect performance here. It's okay to stumble, right? It's okay to kind of go, well, hang on, let me look that up, right? Like, we're all just playing here. And I think we make our lives a little too hard sometimes. Yeah, it looks good to me. I like the notes, motivation, personality, NPCs, quirks, yes. I'm thinking about making an auto hotkey script to pull a name by race from a list and paste it into my notes. That way I don't have to get caught off guard and have to fumble through a list. Yeah, I think having a list, like I have my random name list real handy. The Xanathar's book, by the way, has some of the best random name lists you can use. So if you have Xanathar's on hand, it's a really good way to have the names. He's Not Your Problem says, yeah, about Eberron knowledge. That's probably the hardest part. Is like I've run a couple of Eberron campaigns. I don't think I ever ran one that spent a significant amount of time in Sharn. So that's relatively new to me. But yeah, that's part of it, is like I can monkey through Forgotten Realms stuff pretty easily now. I've been playing in the Forgotten Realms for like 6 years. But Eberron, it's, I've run a couple of campaigns and I know the basics. And I'm picking it up, and we're all kind of picking it up as we go too. And I think that that's cool. Like we can expand on it and sort of learn, and then, make stuff up and make it true. So I think that works. So there we are. I want to thank everybody for coming today. I hope you enjoyed the show, and we will see how things go. And I hope that you guys in this strange time, that you folks can get your groups online and manage to play some D&D. So have a great week. Good luck to all of you. Good luck to all of us. And I will see you guys again in a week. Thank you very much.